Well, when I was in my 20s, the most important poet for me was Yeats. And one of the things that I admired most about him was the way in which he could incorporate myth into his poems in a way that I hadn't seen before. I knew Eliot enough to know that when heroic figures occurred, they were often used to be a kind of way of exploring and exposing the limitations of fallen modern world. Prufrock, who will never be an Odysseus. But in Yeats, he used myth unironically in personal poems. And it seemed amazing that he could actually make the kinds of claims that myth makes and get away with it. So let me just read you this little poem by Yeats and then talk about it. A woman Homer sung. If any man drew near when I was young, I thought he holds her dear, and shook with hate and fear. But oh, 'twas bitter wrong if he could pass her by with an indifferent eye. Whereon I wrote and wrought, and now being gray, I dreamed that I have brought to such a pitch my thought that coming time can say he shadowed in a glass what thing her body was. For she had fiery blood when I was young, and trod so sweetly proud as 'twere upon a cloud. A woman Homer sung, that life and letters seem but an heroic dream. If you take away the title and that one line in the poem that repeats the title, this is just a sweet, ordinary love poem about someone who loves a woman and then tries to turn his life into trying in poetry to do some justice to her beauty and her character. But the line that's included here, a woman Homer sung, adds a striking resonance. It raises the stakes of the poem. It makes a huge claim that this woman is the equal of Helen, and that he, as her celebrator, is the equal of Homer, or in a, you might say, a modern version of Homer. How does he get away? I wondered to myself, because I thought the poem was wonderfully successful. How could he do that? And so I want to talk a little about what he does to prepare us for that last line, so it doesn't seem too much, though it seems a lot. First of all, I would note the modesty of the form. 3-foot line, tight rhymes. It suggests the simplicity of a kind of song. You imagine someone singing this song. It certainly is not a heroic stanza or formal verse. So that's the first thing and a crucial thing. But then the most important point after that is the character of the speaker. There's an argument made here overtly, but the real argument is the argument from the ethos or character of the speaker, not logos, which is the argument of the poem. It's who is speaking. And look at the quality of the first stanza that's exhibited there. This wonderful humor. If any man drew near when I was young, I thought he holds her dear, and shook with hate and fear, but oh, 'twas bitter wrong. You can't win with a young lover. Either he's going to be jealous of you if you get too near, and if you ignore her, he will despise you for not appreciating the beauty that his beloved clearly embodies. And that wit tells you something about the speaker. He's not a fool. He was a lover. I mean, he was a young man, and with young men's enthusiasms and fears, he no longer is, and he can laugh at his younger self. Then in the second stanza, he says he's trying to shadow in a glass what thing her body was. That is a modest formulation. You shadow. You don't actually succeed, you give a shadow of the real thing. And the second thing that isn't stated, but is clear, is that he no longer is her lover. He's failed at winning her, but he still loves her, and so he will commit himself to writing about her to give other people a glimpse, and not a complete glimpse, of what she was. And then the last stanza. For she had fiery blood when I was young, and trod so sweetly proud as 'twere upon a cloud. It's such a wonderfully light way to celebrate. Fiery blood, sweetly proud, and walked on the earth lightly. It's kind of a colloquial celebration of the woman. And then a woman Homer song. There's a leap there. There's a leap there, but you're almost ready to make it, especially the way the poem ends, with a wonderful, modest turn. A woman Homer sung that life and letters seem but an heroic dream. Heroic because she is one of a kind, but a dream which can go either way. It's somehow wonderful, more wonderful than the ordinary, or it's insubstantial. There's a confession there that there's been something slightly unreal about his commitment, complete commitment to art as a rather than life as traditionally thought of. But I don't think the dream isn't meant to undercut the statement. It just says there's a cost in living the way I have lived, but it's worth it. I have done a noble thing in trying to make something beautiful real, and I am following in a great tradition. So the takeaway from this is myth can be brought into your life if you really think about it hard, if you can create a character who's believable. And what you get by it is making a statement about that your ordinary life has archetypal elements in it. And you were part of a grand repeating, your life makes contact with some grand repeating reality. So try it.